Hey guys, welcome back to the Human Condition. I want to start off by saying thank you guys so much for all the recent views on my videos and support, and especially all the commenters out there. I really appreciate it. If you're watching this video, I really appreciate you. Also, just the viewers in general, I really appreciate you guys. I want to start off by saying a disclaimer. If I say anything controversial, as in all videos, I'm sorry. I take it back. Or hurt your feelings, I'm sorry, I take it back. I forgot to do that in the last video, so I decided to do this video. Try to do that in every video. But today I got a really cool concept that I've been really passionate about talking about with you guys. And it is, what are defense mechanisms and how do they impact our thinking? And this is I didn't really know how crazy this affected our day-to-day lives, but it's astonishing to me how much they affect our day-to-day lives. Some of them I'm like, wow, I do that all the time. For example, we'll get into there's apparently 31 of them, and some of the things you wouldn't even consider defense mechanisms, like humor. It's to calm down situations and make things more enjoyable. Humor, humility, all those things are also considered defense mechanisms, actually, which is kind of cool to see. So yeah, I'll try to cover all 31. I probably won't get to all of them just because there's so many to remember, and yeah, it's just a lot to try to remember at one time. But there was, because I had a lot of ones I was going to talk about originally that I thought were really cool, but I looked up to before this video just to figure out a couple more, just in case I'm missing some that are really important, and then I also found a ton more that I didn't even know about. So it's pretty cool. I'll try to talk about all the ones that I think are really interesting. So start off with the basic ones first. I think also I want to say that I feel defense mechanisms get a negative connotation. And I feel in a way, as long as whatever you do in life, you're not hurting someone else, hurting yourself, it shouldn't be considered necessarily bad. You know what I mean? If you're not hurting someone or yourself in life, it's not it's an okay thing. I feel defense mechanisms can bring some positives to life. Is what I mean. So, because defense mechanisms, if you really think about it, help us maintain a sense of peace, and rationalize defense mechanisms, our own realities. And I feel everyone uses at least one, and probably honestly at least one of all of them once in their lifetime. Maybe not all of them, but maybe not all of them, but I'd say at least 60% of them I feel people will probably use most of their lifetime, 60 to 70%, which is kind of cool. Because some of them you wouldn't even think would be considered defense mechanisms. That being said, what are the defense mechanisms that impact? What are defense mechanisms, and how do they impact our thinking? The first one we'll start off with is denial. Denial is an awesome one. Everyone knows about denial. Everyone lives in denial in a way. You really think about it. Denial. Everyone has their own opinions and their core beliefs, and denial is one big factor that helps people can maintain those. That and rationalization. Denial is basically protecting your own mental peace, and that's fine. It's not really, the only time denial is bad is when you object actual reality, but most of the time denial is an okay thing to keep your mental peace. And it's basically listening to things that you don't agree with, taking it in, but also pushing it away a little bit. And you should take in things that you don't agree with and still accept them or respect them. But to keep mental peace, it takes a while to actually accept them. So it's normal to have an initial reaction of denial to hearing something you don't agree with. So it's a normal part of life, and it helps people keep their mental peace. Because if everyone was thinking different ways 24/7, it's all the time, without their initial reactions, it'd be really chaotic in one's mind. So that's why people have denial, because it takes a little while. You can always, it's always good to listen to other opinions, and and respect them and appreciate the person, but that doesn't mean you have to accept them as your own. You should still try to be friends with them, but just be chill. I'll use another one called altruism, which is just be nice to people that even sometimes when people are not nice to you, you should be nice to them, because it's a pretty good defense mechanism. That's altruism. But denial keeps us mentally sane, kind of, in our own reality. Without denial, you might like lose yourself. Denial helps you keep a sense of self. Denial is like the defense mechanism best paired with denial, I would say, is rationalization. Rationalization is coming up with good, reasonable reasons why you believe what you believe. And rationalization is a pro and con. For example, if you are in denial of something negative, like the actual reality of situations, and you're finding reasons to rationalize those are not necessarily good. But if you have a good sense of being open and understand other ideals and accept them, it's okay to rationalize and come up with the reasons why that support your beliefs. It's okay to come up with reasons that support your beliefs. As long as your beliefs are peace-oriented and caring, and loving, it's all good. But you should obviously still be open to other beliefs as well. So that's rationalization, Another one that's found really cool is reaction formation. I do this one all the time. When I first heard this, I was like, wow. I heard this one a long time ago. And I was like, wow, I do this all the time. It is doing and saying the exact opposite of how you feel. It can be seen in sarcasm, and it can kind of tie lie with passive aggressiveness. But it can also just be because for me, I'm like in conversations with people, and like if you roast someone else, I try to, if I don't get along with someone, I will say the exact opposite of how I feel. Like if I find someone aggravating, I'll be like, that's a really nice person. Even though deep down, obviously I don't think that, I want to believe it. Because I want to believe all people are good people. That's the wishful thinking defense mechanism. Thinking positively about the life around you, even if that's not necessarily the case. So that would be, so that would be that one. Reaction formation, saying and doing the opposite of what, and it can be in a sarcastic, humorous way, or it could just be in a general way of trying to deflect, because negatively, the negative way of this would be never expressing yourself, but reaction positively, this would just be not the right situation to express yourself. It's not the time to say that, how you actually feel right at the moment. You can later on, maybe, but at this time, it's not the place of the situation. Sometimes you're in a situation or a place that you probably shouldn't say what you're thinking right at the moment. Another one is humor. Humor I didn't know was a defense mechanism, but apparently it is. It's used to calm down situations and bring life and energy to the surroundings you're in. When I first heard that, I was like, wow, that's kind of cool. Humor has its own defense mechanism. And I was like, wow, that's actually really cool to think about. It's I never knew that. And it's a way to add peace in your surroundings. Negatively, it'd be like roasting someone for no reason. But yeah. There's two that are pretty interesting. Idealization and identification. Idealization, and they're pretty similar. Idealization is just basically, in my opinion, I could be wrong, the looking at someone and not really seeing them for the way you want to see them, not really seeing them for how they truly are. Like, for example, maybe it's someone you don't agree with. I mean, honestly, it could be like wanting to like someone that you might not get along with. It'd be like, this person, kind of like reaction formation, like I said before, this person's a good person. I love this person. This person's awesome. You might want to believe that. That would be a form of idealization. Another form would be ignoring all the red flags in someone. Oppositely, or kind of similar to idealization, is identification. And that's genuinely knowing someone and really liking the person that you know and wanting to admire to be like them. Whether it be externally, emotionally, cognitively, you just see something in someone else and you're like, wow, this person's awesome. I really like this person. I want to be like this person. They remind me of me. They have the same traits as I want to achieve, or the traits that I already have. And this is identification. You identify with someone. Humility, I didn't know that was a defense mechanism. And that's if you feel like you're doing really well in something and you want to share that with someone, it's natural to be like, you don't want to sound too like, egocentric. So it's natural to want to kind of be like, yeah, but I'm not that good at this, because if you don't want to make anyone feel bad just because you're doing well, So humility is a defense mechanism, because sometimes you'll try to use that and be like, well, I'm not that great at this, just because if someone, you don't want people to feel bad, So that's a good defense mechanism overall. Humility is a pretty good thing, I'd say. There's very few times when it's not. The only time I can think of humility not being is like letting yourself just stoop too far down. There's a good balance of confidence and humility. There's a difference between confidence and like ego, I guess. And it's just, there's a perfect like little balance, I guess, somewhere in between. What else ones am I missing? Wishful thinking. Those are like a lot of the big ones. Projection. You feel bad. So even cooler one, displacement. Displacement is when you're angry about something, but you put it on something else. And I feel like people do this all the time. Let's say I don't know, like you like lose a job, I guess, or like lose a relationship. It's reasonably angry, but it's sometimes negative to seek revenge, even though I can understand why someone would want to do that. It can make sense, but the displacement would be seeking revenge on the wrong people and not addressing the actual anger, addressing the actual fear behind the anger. Displacement would be like ending a relationship and be like, oh, everyone from this gender sucks. That'd be displacement of anger, because deep down, it's just even though it's reasonable and it's understandable why you feel that way, and everyone does. Like, I've probably felt this way before, honestly. But you just gotta realize it's not everyone. It's just that person, and you just keep trying. Just keep trying. Just keep working. Keep up the wishful thinking, and maybe eventually it'll work out. If it doesn't, at least you're positive about it, right? At least you made yourself feel good, even if it didn't work out. That's displacement. So yeah, you're like, you're in a relationship ends, you bring everyone that a certain gender, you lose a job, now you blame the company, you blame all companies in that sector of a job. That would be displacement. And I think those are most of the, there's one I really want to talk about too. One that I thought was really cool, and one I use a lot, and one I'm probably using right now, is intellectualization. And this is denying feelings, trying to be objective. Because deep down we all have an opinion on things, but most of my content, if you notice, I'm objective. I don't try to share my opinion as much. I try to take myself emotionally out of things. This would be intellectualization, and there's pros and cons to this. If you do it too much, that upsetness, that anger will still be in you deep down, So you gotta find a way to, if you use this a lot, you're gonna have to find a way to release it. I'm still working on ways to do that, probably myself. But overall, I feel pretty good. But you might not even realize it. Like, I don't realize it, but I probably do have something, but I just don't know. So intellectualization would be trying to take the objective approach, the friendly approach, and balance the side of two conflicting people, groups, etc. So those are the main defense mechanisms. I hope you found this pretty interesting. I thought this was really cool, especially ones on humor, humility, intellectualization. I really didn't know much about these things. I didn't know they were actually considered defense mechanisms. So I hope you found this video too entertaining. I hope I didn't talk too fast. Yeah, those are the different defense mechanisms. I thought these were really interesting. I didn't know that these would be considered defense mechanisms, especially all of them. There's a couple more I forgot, but those are all the ones I thought were really cool and really interesting to think about. But I hope you guys liked this video. As always, thanks again for watching. Like and subscribe if you want. I love you guys, and I'll see you in the next one.